You're listening to the Bus Stop Blues with Road Bill and Kevin Purcell. Now there you go.
That's what I do.
Do you do?
Well, I did a lot of that last night, didn't I?
You did. It was fire.
There was a lot of harmonica playing.
Who's that? Is that you?
That's, I don't think so. That's too good.
Yeah.
Did I have somebody sitting in for that day?
It gets me every time.
Get you every time.
Every time I get mesmerized, I forget.
Oh, that is good stuff. Welcome, everybody out there in Music Land. We are back for another Sunday night show of the Bus Stop Blues, and we have a great show for you. You know how people say that, and but they kind of just have to.
Right.
But we kind of have to too.
We do, yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. We're just saying it because we have to. But I do believe that we have a great show. Yeah,
right.
we're not kidding this time. Most of the time. Most of the time. You know, when it's just us. Anyway, let's just change the subject.
Well, good evening.
We have a great show.
Music Land. I am your host for the evening, Road Bill, and with me, as always, is the one, the only, Mr. Kevin Shoeshine Purcell. Kevin.
Good evening, Road Bill.
Good evening, Mr.
So nice
Shoeshine.
to be here with you on this Sunday
great?
night.
It's great.
We spent Saturday night jamming as well.
We did. And
on a beautiful piece of property. You will get into that.
Let's
light this candle.
Yeah, let's do this because we always get started and then we forget to do this, and then everybody's like, what's the haps, man?
Yeah,
so,
everybody.
We've got a problem again tonight.
What happened?
Well, there's a glitch in the Twitch.
Son of a nutcracker.
I know, I'm getting real. There's nothing I can do.
My
expertise in Twitch is about this long.
Oh.
So, and for those that can't see because we don't have Twitch, it's really not very long.
You know what is Twitch? What is it? Is it just
It's a video streaming service.
And kind of like Facebook does that, right?
Well, Facebook you can do Facebook Live, right? But Twitch is just a spot for you to do what we do here, but people can watch as well as listen.
Isn't there any other platform that does that as well?
You're asking like I'm in charge over here at the radio station. I am most certainly am not.
Well, but you're the guy that knows all the tech stuff.
Well,
at least you claim
I've gotten you to think you believe that. So that's half
you to
the
think
battle
that you
right
believe.
there.
Yes, that's a good one. You're like a religion.
If you're listening to us, you're doing it on either your radio at your FM dial at 98.3 FM, or you're streaming us at 98.3 thelife.com. And Kevin,
ma'am,
can you look at me?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
So, if blah, 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 blah. So, at 983thelife.com, you can catch us there. We will be streaming. You can listen to this show as a podcast. Our podcast will be presented on our website. You can just go to thebusstopblues.com, and you can find all of our past shows there. Correct. You can like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You'll find us on Blue Sky, YouTube, and obviously, normally I'd say Twitch, but we can't find us
Not
there
tonight.
this time. And
Not
I did,
tonight.
Kevin, we are now on Mixcloud, believe it or not.
That's. I just asked you a second ago if there was anything else like Twitch, and you said you have no idea.
Mixcloud is not like Twitch.
Well, but you still have.
That's
you seem to know these things. I don't know how you know. Okay. What is Mixcloud?
Mixcloud is the same. It's a podcast. Well, it's a music host like Spotify or iHeartRadio or things along those lines.
Yeah,
just proving once again that we're weaving into every musical and or podcast orifice that we can get ourselves into.
Oh God, that's a good way to explain it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna?
You know what? So, are you kind of done there, or you got more?
No.
Oh, okay.
The list goes on.
Because I want to just stop and because it's so.
Smell the roses.
No. Yes. It's been so much easier for me, Bus Stop Blues, for those people who are not,
Correct.
I go on there and I can watch all the shows. I can hear everything. All the things are listed. It's fantastic. It's easy as could be.
It is the greatest. But I will tell you, do you know, like, you drive a truck right here, right?
Yes,
I
do.
It's a particular, some people are particular to Chevy trucks, and some people are particular to Ford trucks. And some people like a Chrysler because they're not
silly.
smart.
Ouch.
Easy.
All right.
Easy. So a lot of these places are a lot like that. People like Apple for their podcast. Some people like Spotify. Some people like, it's just where you call home, because you can't have all of the streaming services. So there may very well have been somebody out there that, I've got Mixcloud and I want to go there, but I don't see your podcast there. Well, now they can't say that.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So it kind of works like that. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, that does. But I'm just saying, I guess for the people that are not as tech savvy, if they want to go to Mixcloud or whatever these things are called, but the easiest thing to do for me, I have no tech experience, I just go to busstopblues.com and I can watch any of the shows I want to. I can watch them in sections. I can listen to them.
Right.
Sorry. Yeah.
That's okay.
Where do I go to watch them?
Well, we're working on Twitch. Well, under normal
this thing is just one vicious circle. I don't like it anymore.
Yeah. Who's on first?
You get shoved through Mixcloud. You go into Twitch, and then you come out like a son of a nutcracker.
Well, that's the thing. That's how they get you. They spread you thin.
Yeah.
And then
they make you believe that you think that.
They're right. Exactly.
It's like a religion.
Did I say yes? I said Facebook and Twitter. You can find us all there. You can send this show an email if you'd like, at thebusstopblues@gmail.com. If you do go to our website, you can also find ways to message us there. And this is going to be a first for the show. Somebody did send us a question for young Bonnie when she gets here. Did we mention Bonnie? Our guest tonight?
We
have not.
You're not done yet.
Here we go. We'll get ready to punch your ticket and hop on the big bus as you make your way to the back seats and get ready for a good time. Because tonight we have yet another great episode of the Bus Stop Blues. Tonight we have a woman on our show who knows how to keep the music flowing, the bands booked, and the vibe just right. If you ever danced by the river and sung along with a cover band under the summer sky, or just soaked in the electric energy of the weekend at the Oar, you've got Bonnie to thank for that. And we're going to talk to Bonnie about music, memories, and what it takes to run a killer venue in the northwest suburbs. And we might even get a few stories from the road.
That is awesome. But it does look like she left. So.
Well, hey, she said, you know what?
Yeah.
No, we had her in the green room.
I think she's done.
I've had enough of this. I'm the hell out of here.
She heard 2 jokes and said, this sucks. I'm getting out of here.
Oh, my goodness. Today we will be featuring songs from the great Chris Duarte. We have to talk about him a little bit, too.
We do. Yeah, he's coming.
Gary Vincent and the Swamp Honkys. Pat Travers. Elvis Presley. Lyle Lovett. Anthony Gomes. And Stevie Ray Vaughan. Good times.
Yeah, that's all good stuff right there. Some of the best artists out there.
Intro complete.
We are done then?
We're done with the intro.
Okay.
Look at that.
So fantastic.
Record time, too.
So, all right. So we have a great show for you, everybody out there in music land. Bonnie Misk. I know her. It's Bonnie Misk Haber, but I know her as Bonnie Misk because I've known her since high school. Yeah. We used to party in high school. But she is the owner of the Broken Oar over there.
The
Broken Oar, which is pretty much. I don't know. I don't know if people know this. I don't know how to say it.
That's where it originated.
The Broken Oar is basically the. I think it's safe to say the Broken Oar is like the Park West of the northwest suburbs. I think it's safe to say that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, safe in terms of I don't think anybody will hurt me for saying that.
I'm pretty sure
whether
you
or
said
not
a lot
it's true
of
or not.
That.
Well, I've been hurt for a lot of things that I've said, though. Yeah. I probably won't be hurt for that.
It pains me sometimes. Well,
yeah,
I apologize. Most
you're
of the
not
time.
a pain in the ass at all. That just never happened. So we had a great time Saturday. That was a lot of fun. What a great show because sometimes we forget that when we get it together, we get the horn section. So Mitch the Lip was out there, Rob Calabro on saxophone.
We had the full Nightburner array.
Yeah. Well, you know what? But Bill LeClaire.
Oh, that's true.
He never showed. He had another gig somewhere. Our keyboard player, Bill LeClaire, and by the time he got done with that gig, it was just getting too late. So he never showed up. But we still, which would have been a great time.
Oh, sure.
But it was we still did fine without him. The people were rocking. It was a great,
The environment was good. It was a little chilly.
It was a little chilly. It was a little chilly, and it was a backyard party, which we don't do a ton of them.
Nope,
but we do a whole lot of them.
Wait,
a whole lot is not quite a ton, if you know what I'm saying. But it was a lot of fun. Our gracious host Steve had us out there. He has a beautiful piece of property with a pond next to it, and the atmosphere was just,
and it was a good time of people.
Yeah,
they were.
Stevie Craig was playing the guitar over his head, down on his knees. He was just going nuts. And
I got a little bit of video of that. I'll probably
Did you
post
get it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and even Mr. Tom Bowling.
That's
playing
what I
the
got.
fiddle.
I got Tom
jumped
Bowling
down on the,
and when Stevie Craig were doing the little battle back and forth.
Yeah,
I got that
was
on
great.
video, so
that was
pretty
fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
I think it's safe to say that those people out there. Another thing that's safe to say, I think those people out there at that show got a rare show.
Oh yeah,
because
they got their money's worth. I'll tell you that.
Well, yes. No, I just don't remember being paid.
Well, we should talk because neither do I.
I think that's the way it's going to end.
We got to break some legs.
I think that's the way it's going to end.
Yeah.
So anyway, we had a great time, and now this is the interesting thing. Almost every time we're in on a Sunday night,
yes, sir,
we have a whole. We usually have a show to talk about, but this coming Sunday, next Sunday, we're going to have no show to talk about that we did ourselves, are we?
I don't know.
No, we're not playing on May 30. Oh, but we are going out to see a
stuff.
show.
We got some stuff.
We're going to see a show.
Yeah, we're doing some
so
prep
we will
work.
have things to talk about. We won't just come in and hit the cricket sound. Cricket sound. We won't. You won't come in on Sunday and just hear this. That is fantastic.
Isn't it? That's on demand, too.
Man.
That was nearly accidental.
That is awesome. I'm
telling you.
Is there, can we get like where there's, sometimes when you're outside and there's like 16 crickets, can we get one like that?
I'll see what I can do.
All right, work on that. Yeah. You're doing good so far.
Do something. I don't know what you do every day, but you need to be doing more.
Somebody's knocking on the door.
Right.
Somebody's ringing the bell.
So before we get to talking about what we're going to do next weekend, let's talk about the weekend after that.
What's happening after that? That's a big one.
That's a big
weekend.
One. Yeah.
We've got a huge star coming in.
Yes, we do. One Mr. Chris Duarte.
Oh, did he ever get his homework done?
Yeah, let me play you what he sent me. Hold on.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's really good.
I mean, it's spot on. Yeah. I'll tell you.
Chris, you're the
guy.
best.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Him.
We're gonna.
I love him.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun. He's an amazing guitar player. For those of you out there who don't know, they know, right?
Somebody knows.
You must know who Chris Duarte is.
Anyway.
He's he came out with his first album, I think in like '94 was his huge album. That's the one that went huge. You remember what that was called? It was something Strat, something Sugar Strat Magic something.
I'll buy that for $1.
It's a fantastic. Excellent. Is that Total Recall or wait? Was that was RoboCop?
Right.
I'll buy that for $1. No, so Chris Duarte is an amazing guitar player. He's one of those just guitar slingers, man, that just makes the guitar make sounds and noises. He tortures it. We've been through this a couple of times, and it's hard to describe. But he tortures the sounds out of that thing.
I've seen it in myself, and it just does. It's just strange. I've seen 1,000 people play guitar, and I've seen really talented people play. But I swear he's actually, when they talk about bending the strings, I think he's bending the entire guitar.
He might be doing that. He might be or you're on shrooms. But either way,
both are possible.
Either way, he's doing
it. Yeah, it's something.
He's getting it done.
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable. But so he's playing out at the Des Plaines Theater on the 7th. On the 7th, and then he's coming here on the 8th.
Nice.
So what we need everybody to do is just do your darndest to go to the Des Plaines Theater website and collect your tickets there for his show. And go and see him. And then when you're done and you're basking in the glory of all of that, come on down to the Bus Stop Blues and just get that little, sign off at the end.
Well, and they get and it's personable, so they get to see the guy that they just saw. They'll get to see what he's all about.
Correct.
Yeah. Get to see where he lives, what kind of shoes he wears, how much, because
we'll ask him the hard questions too.
Yeah, we'll ask him the really tough questions.
Like.
Do you read?
Hi, Chris. Remember that time I came and saw you play that one time?
Here we go. That
was
awesome.
Wasn't that great?
Remember? And I threw $1 in the bucket.
Let's play one of his tunes.
I think we should do that. And then, and for anybody else, we're going to play a tune for you. But if you have any other doubts, go out there in the,
listen for yourself.
The cloud,
right?
And listen to a couple of tunes because I think you will be impressed. It's going to be excellent. And by the way, it's a blues explosion of some sort, right? That's happening at the. That's happening.
Yeah,
at
it's
the,
a good. We talked a little bit about it last week, so we don't want to. But it's going to be.
Yeah, there's two other
epic,
guitar players that are
right.
supposedly pretty amazing, and
an all-star review.
I would go if we didn't have a show. I'd be there for sure.
I just think it's poor planning on your part as the band leader here.
I should never get a show. When there's somebody coming into town, I should never get a show. Oh wait, that's every weekend. Never mind. How dare you? How dare you?
All right.
All right. So let's play some Chris Duarte, and then what else was there?
Tailspin and head whack. Let's do that first, and then we'll come back and we'll do a little bit of stuff, and we'll go from there.
What's this called? Tailspin and head whack?
Yeah, it's a title track from his aforementioned album.
That is the kind of title that I love to hear about.
Let's give it a roll.
Do it. That's what I'm talking about.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah, he's amazing. You know what? Did you tell him to bring his guitar?
I haven't yet, but I'm gonna.
Yeah,
there's no way he's not gonna be allowed through the door without a guitar on him.
That. I gotta play some harmonica with that cat.
Yeah, get that on the Bus Stop Blues sessions.
That'll be some crazy stuff.
Available.
Are we playing?
Point.
What are we? Oh, we got a show Friday night and Saturday night, right? Of that weekend.
We
got Fox Lake.
Oh yeah, Fox Lake.
Fox Lake
right.
Fest.
Right.
We're
and then Primos.
Yeah, and then Primos.
And then this show. It's a busy weekend.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Right.
All right. So,
it is now time for Tales from the Road.
Oh, we do have to get an intro for that.
We should probably do that.
That's cool, though. I mean, you're getting pretty good at that.
I'm trying.
No, you don't don't do it like that. All right. You know what? So this the Tales from the Road are so varied. And this tale I'm going to tell from the road, though, is very funny, and it's a great memory that I have of one of my best friends that unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's really a funny story. Thanks.
Yeah, no,
that's
but
great
what?
Lead-in.
This is what life. What do you think that when people die you should have no memories about them? Is that
no,
what
you definitely should. Just
okay.
Don't say it's a funny story and then start it off by.
Well, it doesn't mean.
I got a funny story. Everybody dies. Pay attention.
Everybody dies in the end, including me. Yo. So yeah, my good friend Tommy Nicholson to Tales from the Road, and the reason I'm telling this story is because I have known Bonnie since high school as well. So, and the fact of the matter is, Tommy and I were coming back from So this is Mount Prospect high school days.
Is this high school 3 or 5?
Now you're getting personal. Now you're getting personal.
Someone's been paying attention.
This would be high school 4.
Oh my God!
So Tommy and
Straight through the uprights.
Tommy and I are coming back on Rand Road in Mount Prospect from a party that most likely Bonnie was at.
Uh-oh.
And we were gooped. We shouldn't have been driving, but that's what makes the story so funny. Because Tommy had this old, just complete beater, like Delta 88 or something.
Ooh,
it was a massive car. It was like almost
the
as big
cars,
as it was a boat. It was a boat, and so here we are. It's like 2 a.m, and we're heading home. and there was these construction horses.
Oh no!
Right past Wolf Road, and I was like, and Tommy was, he's swerving a little bit. And to all of you people listening, don't drink and drive. I learned that.
That's fair.
This is the exact story where I learned that. I said, Tommy, don't hit those horses. And he goes, you mean these ones? Wham! Dun. And he starts, oh my God, he starts hitting every. They were about 30 feet apart or something. He starts hitting every one. And they're bouncing up over the car. They're flying all over the place. Those things are tough. They stay lit.
Yeah.
They're flying all over the road.
It's like fireworks.
Exactly. And we get all the way to the end of the construction, which was like 2 miles. And Tommy and I are just we are laughing so we can't even see. And Tommy turns around in the intersection of, I can't remember, whatever intersection, like Central or something. He turns around in the intersection in the middle of the night, and he's like, I go, what are you doing? And he's like, let's get the other side. He goes down the other side for another 2 miles, just hitting these horses. the yellow light still flashing. We could hear the screaming of these horses.
Going for perfection.
He's going for all of them. He was like sick of them, sick of road construction. That's it. And the craziest thing about it is no other car came down the road. This was, because this was in the probably 1980, 81 maybe.
That's before they invented police.
Yeah, it was, and before it was before there was a lot of people there. They invented overpopulation.
Sure. And, that didn't come till 83.
Right. 85.
Yeah.
So we went all the way down like a couple of miles, just hitting these horses, laughing until we were choking, and then drove home.
Nice.
No problems.
How did the car fare?
The car was in bad shape. And his dad, Mr. Nick, was like, "What the hell's happened to this, Tommy? What the?" He's like, somebody hit me in a parking lot or something, Dad."
Nice.
So we did have to do a short tale from the road, and I just wanted to pay tribute to my friend.
We've got lying to your parents in there. We got drinking and driving in there. But how many? What's the statute of limitations on all that?
I think it's not quite 40 years. Okay. So I think we're okay.
Okay. Rock on.
Because we were 18 and stupid. I mean, and if we were going to do a whole segment about tales from high school. We could do that for 5 years, and I wouldn't run out of stories of the stupid shit we did, the stupid stuff we did,
exactly.
the stupid stiff things we did.
Yeah, Gonna get us at some point.
Yeah. All right. So that is the end of Tales from the Road. Let's do
amongst everything else.
Yeah. Shh. Yeah. You're scaring me. I don't want the cops. The cops will show up and go, "Oh yeah, some drunk driving." You admit it.
Hey,
you confessed.
We got you now.
You confessed. We heard it on the end. It's called the life. That's we know what's going on around Lake.
Right.
That's right. I swear to God, officer, it wasn't in Round Lake. Doesn't matter.
Right.
We're going to play
more music.
We're going to play a song from our good friend.
Yes.
Who's down in Clarksdale.
Right. Who you've called, right?
Yes.
You liar.
No, yes,
which one?
I am a liar, but
Gary Vincent and the Swamp Honkys.
Yeah, he's our good friend down there.
He's a good friend.
This is one of the songs that the Nightburners actually were contemplating doing this song.
Why not?
It's a crazy song. Oh, you know what? And people should know this. This is a funny thing. There was a lizard on the window when they were doing some recording. It was on the TV or something like that. There was a lizard, a real one, like a lizard, or maybe it was a toy, but it was stuck. And somebody said, "Get that off there." And Gary said, "Don't touch the lizard." And he was like,
and he wrote a song about it.
There we go. That's a song. Yeah, it goes like this.
Let's do that. Let's do that tune, and let's follow another Chris Duarte tune, just because I want to celebrate him, and then. We should probably bring in that lovely, lovely Bonnie lady.
We'll get Bonnie in here on the... Okay, a couple tunes then here.
Yep,
Let's hear some music.
All right. Kevin?
I can do that.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna. How much does that cut? Do voiceovers like that? How much?
You should talk to Mr. Derek Purcell. He'll tell you all about that.
Yeah, that's right. He did tell us about it. All right, everybody, we're back, and we're back with our special guest today, which is fantastic, Mr. Oh. This started
already.
No, this is great radio.
This is great radio. Yeah.
Miss Bonnie Misk, as I know you, but you're Bonnie Misk Haber.
I am.
Is that that's how you
I'm
say
hyphenated.
it? Yeah. Well, so is my wife. She's hyphenated. Sometimes
I've never been hyphenated.
Sometimes I see her going in different directions.
Hey.
So you are the owner and you run the Broken Oar over there, which is a pretty famous place. Everybody like everybody wants to play the Broken Oar, which I know is probably tough, right?
It is
because you could easily have probably 150 bands playing there. You could.
We have
but
a
that
lot.
would be impossible.
Yeah.
Or is it? Is that how many you have?
There's a lot. It's every 4 shows a week, and we're doing it year round now. So I think it's way up there in the hundreds that we book every year.
Really? Over 100 bands play there throughout the year?
But that's going to give me some homework. I'm actually going to figure that out one of these days.
Yeah. I was thinking just logistic. Well, that's true though. You do have you put a lot of, you do an afternoon, you do like an evening, and then you do a night show a lot. But I was just thinking, just logistically, there's probably like 50 to 60 bands
Easy.
in rotation, but it's more than that most likely.
Like at least 4 shows. Sometimes the shows are 2 bands, so times 52 weeks, so
Wow.
I'll let you do the math.
No, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do any of that.
If it's above the 10 fingers, that's where stuff really gets problematic.
That is fantastic. And at the break, we were talking, and probably a lot of people know this, but this Memorial Day weekend is a big weekend for the Broken Oar. The biggest, actually.
Huge.
The biggest, yeah.
Yeah, big weekend.
Is there something going on tomorrow as well?
Absolutely.
Of course. Why would I even ask
We
that?
got a band tonight, and then tomorrow we've got 2 bands playing starting at 2.
Wow.
Nice.
Hey, anybody that's listening, after the show, I'm going to go back to Broken Oar. Anybody wants to meet me over there, let's go. At least this time it's not my house.
I know the address to both.
So that is fantastic. We did somebody ask a question? We have somebody sent a question
we did
already?
Get a question. It's actually our first question that we've ever had, so I was pretty excited leading up to this show. Well, I mean, it's the first real legitimate
but it's for our
ask a
guest.
Yeah, it's not
Right.
for us. So not only did they pay attention to what we've got upcoming, because I post that on Facebook and I do that on X and other stuff. So it's really somebody out there
All
doing
right.
their
Some
due
mystery,
diligence.
some mystery person. What is their question?
The question is, stand by. How does one who has a band and who would like to play at the Broken Oar get on there?
Wow, that's a loaded question.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Well, we'd love to get every single band that wants to play at the Oar, because it's our goal to support the music community. So we try and get everybody in that is returning, that was successful with us and enjoyed their performance. And then we squeak in a few extra new performers, new bands every year. So the best way for them really to get kind of in the mix is to shoot me an email.
Nice.
And then I keep in the back of my mind, and we kind of take a look at everything that the band has to offer, and marketing co-op and stuff. So the best way is just kind of to get their foot in the door and then go from there.
Nice.
And let me just to qualify, don't suck.
Well, that does help.
There's a lot of quality. Almost every band at the Broken Oar is quality. I mean, I'm sure that every once in a while guys have bad nights or something like that, or you might get a band in that sounded really good on their tape, and then they were horrible. So you're
tape.
like, nah,
you
no.
said the word tape.
Yeah, well,
Nobody's
that's
used tape.
that's
Yeah, we
what
don't
that's
do
what we
tapes.
call it in the business.
Right.
That's what we call it in the business. They're
Let me-
real.
let me see
okay,
your reel.
They're sizzle reel.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Now you're dating yourself.
Yeah.
But that probably has happened, right? Where you've had people send in and wow, these guys sound really good, and then you hire them and they're like, wow, these guys are nothing like their
It
sizzle
works
reel.
both ways.
They're
Sometimes-
sizzle reel.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have expectations and things don't work out the way we had anticipated, and sometimes the other way around, where we were just had somebody come in as an opener and bring them back and really enjoyed the show and have them perform.
Yeah, and this
more.
is where it comes
So-
into
That is
to
awesome.
doing this for this particular show is promotion and building up numbers and followers and things like that. That all, if people aren't good at that can be problematic. But vice versa, if they're better at that than playing in the band, you could definitely go zigzag both ways on that particular thing.
So the bands that you entertain or consider to come in are definitely, you also want to, besides their tape, you want to see that they have marketing behind them, and they have a web page, and they have lots of stuff going on. They've already played.
Yeah, I mean,
bit.
we're all in it together, but we need everybody to help promote the shows. I don't expect bands to bring their, all of our guests in for the evening, but at the same time, we want to make sure that they're trying to bring everybody in that they can.
Like
Wow.
us, that's why we have quality guests on, so
Yeah.
that they'll increase
Yeah.
our numbers as well as we'll increase theirs.
So that's
It's all
fantastic.
one hand always washes the other.
I mean, we always say that too. We're all in this together. It's just that it's funny that you say that, because the last couple of times we played the Oar, somebody came after us. Oh, I think it was you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Kidding. We always have a fun. We have a great time at the Oar. No matter, you know what? And the greatest thing is, no matter when you play, we've played the afternoon show, we've played the evening show, we've played at like 2-3 in the morning. I don't know if you were there.
Right.
I wasn't in the parking lot.
Yeah, we had a
parking
great
lot.
time though.
Yeah.
We had a great time.
Yeah.
The neighbors called the police, but we had a lot of fun. Well, so you have some amazing stories from the Broken Oar, because we were talking about them. Because for all you people out there, in music land, the Broken Oar is. Hopefully everybody that's listening has been there, but it's right on the river. Why is it called the Broken Oar? Do you know that?
I do not. I mean, I think it just was the name that Mike inherited when he purchased the bar.
Okay, and just briefly, let's do that. When did your husband purchase the bar?
40 years ago.
40 years ago. The
October,
anniversary is coming.
Yep. Yeah,
Wow.
October 15th is our
Nuggets.
40th this year.
Oh my God! Oh man, what you gonna do something big?
Yes, I don't know what it is yet, but we will.
Is that a weekend?
It's close enough. We'll just bring it to the. I
Rock
think
on.
October 12th is the Sunday prior. So,
Okay.
yep.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll be there. We'll bring balloons.
Excellent.
You bring some
I'll bring some
fireworks.
cake.
You bring some
Wow.
fireworks. Yeah.
How about I'll bring the construction horses and we can just drive into them.
That is a fantastic idea.
Bam, bam,
Reenactment.
bam, bam,
A reenactment right there.
I've actually done that before displaying, so.
Did you do it too?
Yeah, I did it.
All right. That's good. Is there a video of it?
No. and
Good, because
they
then the cops got nothing on us.
We didn't video then, and it was only one side of the road. I can't be
Oh, you didn't-
Tommy's
you didn't
two
double
sides.
back?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no. Tommy, he was.
Well, Tommy
he
was
was
an
on a
overachiever.
mission. He was on a mission that night. Yes, he was that too. He
Right.
was an overachiever, but he was on a mission that night. Oh my God, we're laughing so hard. I'm still laughing about it. So he and what possessed him to buy the place?
He is an avid fisherman, and he was born and raised on the Fox River, and would frequent. An old judge, Harry Edders, owned it previously. He used to go there all the time, and he really bought it for the marina and for the fishing end of it. It just happened to come with a bar, and it was in the basement.
The
so.
Orr bait and tackle.
Yeah,
Oh my
pretty much.
gosh!
So
Wow.
it was a one story, had windows at the lower level, and so I think a few years after he purchased it, they add the second floor because that used to be a residence for the owners, and then it's just the rest is history. We just
The
kept improving it.
the upstairs where we met the other day. Someone lived up there.
Yeah, the bar was in the basement. Yep.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wow. And so you brought the bar from the basement and put it up there.
Yep. And it never hit a deck.
That was a lot of moving.
Yeah, there's it's been a long evolution
Project.
over the years.
Oh, but
and-
it's so awesome out on that
Thank
deck out there. For those of you out there, go eat at the Broken Oar if you got nothing else to do. You sit right on the river.
Even if
Beautiful
you got something
day.
else to do, cancel those plans
Yeah,
and
cancel.
come out
Why
anyway.
would you even?
Come
why
on.
would you even think of it?
Yeah, the Skydeck's got some pretty cool views. So everybody kind of gravitates to where they like at the Oar. Some people go straight to the Skydeck. Some people go to the boat bar. Some people are straight to the barn. So everybody's got their favorite spot.
That is, and I think a lot of people do like to just go up and watch the boats that come by, right? You can just sit there and watch the boats come by, which is fantastic. So here's a question: when he bought it, what was it called? The Oar bait and switch? No, bait and tackle. And then how did he start doing the music and all that stuff? How did that come about?
Well, I'm not sure. I think prior to my arrival, I've been there 15 years now. I jumped in to help for 2 months till they found a new manager, and
15
I was 15
years ago.
years.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right, all right, that's
Long
fantastic.
2 months. And now we're married, so there's no turning back. So I don't know that there was a small stage and a picket fence, so we started putting bands out there on the weekends. One of the bands that now plays, it's now Hillbilly Rockstars, but Scott Lewis used to play in a band called Party Freak. And I'd look at the weather, and if it was going to be 80 degrees, I'd text him or call him and say, hey, what are you guys doing this weekend? So he always would be like, oh, it's 80 this weekend. I wonder how long it'll be till Bonnie calls and asks us to play out there. So, that it kind of started very slowly. And then, I even look back now and see our lineup for summer and some of these weekend events and stuff. And, it was a band here or there, so it's just kind of evolved over the years. And
Well, I remember back when it used to be
Wow,
all
that's
dirt out
awesome.
there or stone, and
Yeah.
that the stage itself was just this wooden thing, and
Yeah.
it was like a whole free for all, and
It's a
but it was
free-for-all.
it was fun. You'd be out there dancing and creating clouds of dust and stuff like that, and it was
Wow, you had like a gravel.
Yeah.
It was red gravel,
Yeah.
so when it got wet, everybody called it the red toothpaste, like that would be
Nice.
all over their shoes. So we were getting married and actually having our wedding there 10 years ago, and I said, we got to get rid of this red gravel before the wedding. So that was my motivation.
That's how that happened.
2 weeks
Oh.
before, I brought in pavers. We got it all paved out, and Put the tent on top of it, and the rest was history.
And you and now you built the outdoor place where the stage is. You built a whole new stage, whole new sound system, and now it's got like, what is it, like sort of garage doors, almost like a firehouse kind of.
It's a pole barn, insulated pole barn. So we have vinyl drop downs right now. So that may evolve a little bit in the future, but for right now, it works well for us.
That is fantastic.
Well, that's how you know you're doing it right, man.
So we love so now we want. I have so many more questions. We're probably not going to be able to finish them all. I got a million questions because we have so many things in common. All the music.
Let's keep her for the next hour.
Should we keep her for the next hour as well?
Well,
might as well, because that wasn't. Was that going to be the
end?
end of the interview right there?
Yeah. I mean, originally,
sure. All right. So thanks. Great. See you later.
You got nothing else to do.
Should we play? But we want. But we every guest that we have in, and we asked you what are some of your favorite songs? What are some of the songs that influenced you, or just what are the songs you like? You used to like smoke weed and listen to whatever the reason.
Right.
I don't know why you'd be doing that, but I didn't. I never did that. Not even when I was hitting horses on the road. But so let's play some of Bonnie's favorites here because these are.
Well, we're going to start off with a Pat Travers tune, and I think.
And why are we starting off with a Pat Travers tune? Why?
Because you told us to start with Pat Travers.
No, that's come on. You're supposed to because Pat Travers plays at the Broken Oar.
Because Pat Travers plays at the Broken Oar.
I'm so glad. Line. Make up. Pat Travers plays there, and it's one of the big shows, right? It's always pretty much sold out, right? It's pretty much sold out. You almost can't even get in the joint when Pat Travers plays there, but it's always a good time.
You said not to mention to Bonnie that we want to get Pat Travers on this show, right? You said don't say that?
I said don't ask her yet. We'll ask her after the show.
Dang it.
All right.
This is why we don't have nice
Is it after the show yet?
Well, real close.
I know. I want to add so bad. So let's hear some Pat Travers because when is he coming? Is he coming this summer?
He is. He's coming, I think, in July.
Let's talk about it when you get back. Let's play some Pat Travers, and then and who else? Anything else?
Nope,
just
we're just going to do this,
okay.
then we'll come back, talk a little bit about it, and then we'll take the break.
Beautiful.
Let's go.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That is a jam. You remember, I hope people out there remember that song. That was do you remember, the scene in Wayne's World when they were in the car and they're just jamming to the Queen tune?
Yeah.
That's what we used to do in the car when the Pat Travers tune would come on. Did you remember that?
I see a little silhouette of a man.
Yeah, but that was Queen. We're doing.
I know. You said to remember that. How do I remember what you did?
We're
when you
pushing
were a kid?
Pat Travers right now.
Yeah, but I don't remember that.
Well, we have a funny story about Pat Travers because so there's a funny thing too because I was playing the Broken Oar then long before you came on the scene, but he's owned it Mike's owned it for 40 years.
Yes.
So I've only been playing there for like 38. So. So that means that. So yeah. Anyway, we played there long before the trailer showed up.
Yes.
When we were playing there the first bunch of years, the first decade or so, there was no dressing room, but we didn't deserve one. We were just we were the.
You were lowly.
We were the night. They were at last night.
The lowly night.
Last night, these couple of drunk guys last night. These young guys. And they go, "What's the name of your band?" And I said, "Kevin Purcell and the Night Burners." They were like, "Oh, the Night Burgers, cool."
Night
I was
Burgers.
like, no, not Night Burgers. And he was like, "Sorry, I just had a cheeseburger. It's kind of on my mind."
Fabulous.
I said, "We are not the Night Burgers." He said, "I think you said Night Burgers." I was like, "Oh, okay."
I will do that from now on.
If you do, you're fired. Anyway,
I've been fired before.
I've been fired many times. He keeps coming back like a parasite.
Like a bad penny. I keep turning up.
So the
trailer.
So tell us a story via Pat Travers why the it's the green room.
The green
it's the
room
green room. It's for the
trailer.
bands. Yeah,
Yes,
it's for the bands. They have a dressing
we're
room.
on a floodplain, so we can't build buildings. So you'll see some remote trailers at the Broken Oar, and one of them, you were honored to have Pat Travers come and play at the Broken Oar, and I grew up watching him fill full stadiums, and it was quite an honor.
20, 30,000. Yeah,
he's a legend. It was an honor to have him play for us, and so he arrived for his first show, and immediately they asked where the green room was, and never had occurred to me before. We were just a little old Broken Oar. Asked for the green room, and I was just mortified that I had no place for him to hang out before the show. So he was very gracious, and he just said, "Look, just get me an outlet somewhere so I could tune my guitar," because they had traveled a long time to get there. So fast forward another hour later and stuff, he's in our dry room storage in the basement with his guitar plugged in his BVDs, tuning his guitar. And
awesome.
I had 16-year-olds running food past him because we have a kitchen down there, and I kept walking by with my hands on the side of my face going,
Trying not to look.
sorry,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I was just mortified. So after that, I came to the realization that we had evolved to the point where we really needed a space for the bands to hang out. And so we started saving up, and the next year we got a trailer that's heated and cooled and somewhere to hang out right outside the stage. So the next time he came, I explained to him that it is officially called the Pat Travers Green Room Trailer because
Nice.
I
There
was
you go.
really
BVD all you want.
yeah,
Fruit of the Loom, whatever.
yeah,
do
whatever you
that.
want to do in there. Just get on stage on time, and then
That
we
is
got-
fantastic. And just out of very very briefly and quickly and shortly, and not as long as I'm speaking right now. How did you get hooked up with Pat Travers?
I don't remember.
Oh,
So
oh, okay.
that's good.
I
Yeah.
don't
That's
remember
good.
what the first. I really don't recall what our first. What brought us together initially, but after that, he's just the nicest guy, and his entourage he travels with, his bandmates, everybody's just wonderful. So, we really enjoy having him every year, and I think he enjoys playing there. He flew in from Florida last year just
And
to
man,
do
are
a show
his
with
arms
us.
tired.
Yeah, I
But
don't ever do it again.
I'm fired.
I
I
want
haven't
to try.
heard that.
Well, we'll talk about when he's coming in. Let's. We're going to take
Yeah, we have
a
to
station
quick break.
break right now. When we come back, I want to talk about the date that he's going to be there, so we can tell the people,
Yep.
and then we'll talk about the
And then we'll
Arctic
tackle
bar
him.
as well.
I mean, we'll talk to him.
Yeah, we'll talk to him.
Sounds
yeah,
good.
Yeah, and then we'll yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
After
station
these,
break.
after these messages,
Station
we'll be
identification.
right back.
WRLR 98.3 FM LP, Round Lake Beach, Illinois.
Welcome back to the second hour of the Bus Stop Blues. Strap on in as we head back into the station and see what bumps we cross with Road Bill and Kevin Purcell.
Wait for it. There it is.
I just realized that the harmonica can also be quite an annoying noise-making instrument as well.
I've
No,
never
I'm
heard
just saying.
anybody say that
Well,
to me as you're getting on
You know,
stage
it
sometimes.
sounds almost like a kazoo.
It's no
that's
oboe.
that's having a real bad day. But I guess that's why they call it the blues,
That
as
is-
Elton John said.
Yeah. Sausage fingers, Elton
Yeah.
John.
So, all right, everybody, we're back with our fantastic guest, who I've known for a long time.
Just say long
Let's
time.
Just
Couple
a long time.
years.
Like a
Couple
couple
years.
years. Bonnie Miskaber, who runs the Broken Oar. And that was a fantastic Pat Travers story. Did we find out when Pat? Well, we can do it, but
July
just
26th.
July 26th, Pat Travers is. So that's like a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody, I'll see you there. Let's bring the entourage. Can we get like front row seats because I know you, because I know people?
I'll see what I can do.
Okay, thanks. So Bonnie has so many great stories. I don't think we would be able to fit them in before the show is over. But we'll try. So let's talk about a couple of things just as far as business goes, because as far as business goes, they used to, is it because of business? I think they used to call you Buzz Bonnie. Is that because of business? No, like his business.
Funny
when you.
business.
No, oh, okay, all right. Oh, I did
That
I
was
say?
in high school.
She said not to bring that up.
Oh shit, she did? No, I don't remember that. I don't remember. Okay, so business Bonnie. Business. Let's just say biz.
Yeah, there
biz
you go.
Bonnie.
There you go.
There is a business Bonnie. There's a fun Bonnie and a business Bonnie.
Well, let's
the
talk.
employees
let's talk,
know that one.
Let's talk to business Bonnie, because so you are there. You have a little thing out there called the Arctic Bar, which I've seen a couple of times. It's really cool. In the winter, is something you do in the
Yep,
winter.
off season.
Okay, but you don't. It's not in the summer. You don't have Arctic Bar in the summer.
Yeah,
that
it
would be
doesn't
that
go
would be
over as
weird.
well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you do the Arctic Bar, so what happens is the bar that's out there by the barn, you dress it all up to make it look like a sort of a winter wonderland.
Yep.
And is it actually cold out there still?
It is not. We heat the space.
Oh.
That would be pushing it. But we just overloaded with white lights, glitter, snowflakes. We get people coming from all over. I look at our reservation list. We get people driving a couple hours just to check it out. And this year, it started to keep more people gainfully employed year-round in our kind of off-season to bridge that gap a little bit. This year, we're incorporating the Broken Barn into it and doing full bands year-round. So
Broken Barn.
Broken Barn.
Broken Barn. I
got names for everything.
That's
Sky
great.
Deck, Broken Barn.
There you go.
I name things.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
That's Business Bonnie.
Mm-hmm.
That's business
Business
Bonnie.
Bonnie
Well,
names
that could be
everything.
Buzz Bonnie too. It could be names for everything.
Business Bonnie.
Bonnie
is Bonnie.
Shrooman again. Let's get the name in there. All right, let's name these things. No, but that's good. What's the parking lot called? They got that name for the. Now wait. So what is the? But there's another bar out on the beach down by the river. Is that bar?
We have a boat bar and a trailer
the
park
boat
bar.
bar.
That's where stuff gets
Trailer
real.
park bar.
Well,
yeah.
we have a toilet trailer out there, and the trailer park bar is next to that. So we decided to just name it the trailer park bar. So
Much
There's
better
a
than
bar
the toilet
out there.
bar.
There's well, there's bars out there where the big restroom trailer is.
Yeah.
There's a bar out there.
yeah, it was open today.
How did I? When is that put in? How come I didn't
You're
notice
on the
that?
stage. You're
Couple
looking out
years.
the other way.
Yeah,
It's been there a
you
couple
gotta
years.
turn your head right when you're there.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're a left turner as opposed to a right turner.
Well, also usually when I'm hitting the can, it's because I got to get back on stage, so I'm
true,
running.
too.
and
Right.
It's
running.
on the north side of the boat ramp. So we have 4 bars operating simultaneously.
I'll
when
be
we're-
danged.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be danged. Now, is the boat bar? So the boat bar is up and running right now. I believe last time we played there, it wasn't quite yet because it was still a little chilly out there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
No, it was. We had all 4 bars running today.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
full steam ahead.
Tomorrow too.
Yes.
All right. Maybe I'll stop by tomorrow.
yeah.
You want to go?
Oh,
You want to go?
That's a dumb
It's,
question.
it's Memorial Day.
That's a dumb question.
What else you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you doing? Well, I have family. They might want to go, though.
I
There you
don't.
go.
All right, so the Arctic Bar now is going to expand into the entire Broken Barn.
Yep, that runs December through January. We're going to start a little early this year so that it's up and running before Thanksgiving because people are always looking for stuff to do. So mid-November through January.
No kidding.
Business Bonnie's at work, man.
Yeah, Business Bonnie's doing what Buzz Bonnie could never
I'm
do.
just telling you.
So,
I'll working everything
so-
6 months ahead.
No, but this is cool. So you're gonna like the same thing that you do to the Arctic Bar. You're gonna do all that, like glitter and the
Well,
lights
it'll
hanging.
be concentrated in the bar and the lounge, and then we'll incorporate the decorations will spill over into the barn, but it's allowing us to have full bands instead of no entertainment down there when we run it.
Fantastic. You know what? You should get a couple of those like fake snowmen, and put those in there in the barn. The ones that move, like a creature. So then you are that's business, Kevin.
Yeah.
No, that's business,
No,
Kevin.
that's
There's a different word
for that. I can't say it on the radio.
Look, you got to put a quarter in it to make it move. There's money involved.
Yeah.
So,
I'm super impressed with you. Super impressed with you.
Gee, thanks for the suggestion,
there
Kevin.
you go.
I'll write that down.
Excellent. I got a ton of them. I got a million of them. I got more.
This is why we don't go nowhere.
You're amazing.
He makes me tell him
no,
that
I've
all
heard,
the
I've
time.
heard that. I've heard that so many times from him.
Yeah. It's
So-
in my contract.
All right. So look, excellent. So now you're going to have bands year round then.
Yep.
Wow. So there you go out there in Music Land.
That's the
There's
plan.
bands year round at
Yeah.
which means you're going to be
You
able
heard
to
it
put
here
more
first.
bands in your rotation.
I can. And we're going to throw
Man.
some holiday shows in there and tie it in with the Arctic Bar and
That's
keep things
fantastic.
rolling year round.
Oh, how do you deal with all these bands? I just,
I don't know.
I got one to deal with, and I can't stand most of them.
You got 3 or 4, honestly, and you
Oh,
can't stand either
well,
of them either.
no.
but-
He just
No.
comes up with another band name then.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. It's
Change-
real
change
easy.
one player
The
and it's a new
flamethrowers.
band.
Yeah,
Right.
no, that's the way we're doing it. So that is fantastic. Now tell us a little bit. We had some great talks about stuff because you have so many stories. But what was the story of the jukebox? You have a jukebox.
Yeah,
at
this is
your
a tale.
house.
We need Bonnie's tale from the road here.
Yep. It's my prized possession. So, we're big supper club fans, and, my eclectic selections for songs are derived from listening to some oldies at a jukebox at a supper club that was in Fox River Grove called the Little Blue. And they shut down, sadly, sold, and it was torn down to put a Culver's in, so that was a sad day. But we were there the day they were closing, and, the jukebox had Elvis, Engelbert Humperdinck, Tom Jones. It had
Excellent.
It had some of those in the mix, so it was always fun. I'd play 1106 was Little Sister, so I'd go in and hit that all the time. So when they were closing,
1106, you remember the number, you remember the code and everything, huh?
It's an illness. I remember Mimi Kirka's phone number from grade school. I can't get numbers out of my head. Yeah.
That's cooked.
Yeah,
Well, we're
it's
going to
bad.
be in your head for another couple of weeks, I'm sure of that, after all
Longer.
this.
Yeah, I'm going to need therapy after this. So
Wait, you can do that?
We can donate. We'll donate to your therapy.
So they were closing, and I asked about buying the jukebox because it was an old, push-button jukebox, and they said, well, sorry, it doesn't belong to us. It belongs to our gaming company. Well, it just happened to be the same gaming company we used at the Oar, so I sat in my bar stool and texted the gaming company, and he's like, oh, yeah, well, you can have it. So we got it. They had to modify it slightly, and we moved it into the basement. So it's my prized possession in the basement. So
membership has its privileges.
I'm telling you, we have Villa Blue jukebox parties.
That is
sometimes,
fantastic.
So, yeah.
Well, you have, next time invite me because I
Absolutely.
won't get in anybody's way. I just want to hear
he just
Tom
wants to hear
Jones.
1106.
I just want to hear Tom Jones and Humperdinck. All right, those are some of my faves. That is fantastic. So you left all the selections on there.
Haven't
You
touched
left
it. Yeah,
That's fantastic.
Those were
Love
just a few of the real oldies, but there's other ones that were a little bit more
and
mainstream.
Is it? Yeah. Oh, is this a jukebox now that just plays like 45s, like the same way it
I
used
think
to?
there's CDs in there.
Oh, okay. So it's not one of those ones from the
No.
50s or something. That would be
No.
cool.
It does
And
require a lot of repair.
But oh yeah, does it? But is it a big, like it's one of those big honking?
Fairly large, yeah. It's lit up.
jukeboxes?
Nice.
Yeah, we got lights on in the basement all the time.
Fantastic. You should take a picture of it and just put it on the wall in the
I should.
in the Broken Oar. I
Yeah.
think that'd be funny.
Yeah.
Broken Oar.
She had that at the backdrop to the stage. Just one big jukebox back
Oh
there.
well, okay, all right.
You know.
Well, and I was
Business
the one.
Billy.
I was the one with the bad idea.
No, that's because mine was good.
Or we could have the Oar logo, so every time anybody looks up there, takes a picture. They see
Fine,
it.
Bonnie, you
Yeah,
win.
Yeah, I
Pretend
guess
like
so.
it's yours,
Yeah.
I guess.
Fine. I'm gonna think of more ideas. So you know what we should do? Let's play.
Some jukebox music?
Yeah, well, yeah, because that's what we got here, right? Elvis Presley, and
That's right.
And Bonnie's a big fan, and we are too of Lyle Lovett. My good friends Rob Anderlich and Mike Church, they do a Lyle Lovett thing that
Nice.
they're very good. So they play.
We
I
almost
saw
got
it.
kicked out of a place where they play that.
I saw.
You and I.
Did we?
Yeah.
What did we do?
We got loud.
Okay, that's not.
I don't know.
that-
I don't know what they were thinking.
That very rarely happens.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened. But, yeah, so we're big fans of Lyle Lovett. So let's play some Elvis Presley and Lyle Lovett. That could,
Which
you never
tunes?
know. This could be on Bonnie's Jukebox.
Let's do it.
Yeah, Lyle Lovett.
Yeah, baby.
That's some good old stuff. I don't even know what to call it. It's almost like lounge, blues, sort of, jazz.
Awesomeness.
That's my Saturday
Excellence.
morning.
Excellence.
My Saturday morning music.
Yeah, Lyle Lovett is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, fantastic. I mean, he's amazing. He's amazing. He deserves
And that's
all
a
the
great
accolades
tune.
that he gets.
That's a
Yeah.
great tune.
Yeah. So okay. So we went over the Arctic Bar, and that is something that's happening like right now this year.
This year, yeah.
This year,
It'll
you're
be
gonna
our
do the Arctic
sixth
Bar.
year, but it's expanded. It'll be bigger and better than ever this year with full bands.
Wow. That is amazing. So there you go. We're going to try and get in there for, hopefully, the Nightburners will get in there for like a December or something.
That'd be
Huh?
great.
Do you want to do that?
I do.
You want to get us in there?
I do.
I'm pretty sure we're a great Christmas band.
We have a whole Christmas album.
We do.
We do.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Right.
Nothing surprises me
Yeah,
anymore.
I know. We have a Thanksgiving album too, don't we? Maybe
no,
not.
no,
All right, well,
We're not that thankful.
now you're
gotta-
pushing it.
we're not that thankful,
Right.
We got to get into the. We got to get into the Valentine's Day or Washington or President's Day. I don't know, whatever these. There's too many holidays. We'll get one of them. Don't worry about it. So
This is great radio.
no, here's the deal.
Is it?
So that was. Oh, did we say what tunes those were?
We did, but
A little
we
less
should.
conversation from Elvis. Which
and Lyle
I was
Lovett.
telling Bonnie,
She's no
I just
lady.
found out.
She's my wife.
Yeah, that's a great
That's
one.
okay.
She's no lady. She's my. The first tune was originally done by Mac Davis.
Yes.
Little less conversation.
We found that in our research.
Elvis.
That's
Elvis.
cool.
Elvis and Mac Davis were probably great friends.
Wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't know, but I'm just saying it.
Just assuming.
Yeah.
All you got to do is put it out in the ether,
Yeah.
and it is so.
It's a big assumption. Now, so we have some other great. We have some songs coming up that are other. We talk about all the bands, like you always read off all the bands that are playing at the Oar. There's so many of them. He's going to do the calendar date coming up, and a whole bunch of great. What is Brass from the Past? What is that? Is that a horn section band?
They have a large horn section. It's probably the most people up on the stage at one time, but they're phenomenal. Great people, great musicians, very talented. So it's always fun when they're there. It's a party, a lot of dancing and singing going on.
Do you know if they do? Do they do Get It On from Bill Chase?
I do not know off the top.
Well, you've got to. Okay, that's
also
Saturday.
Come on, Business Bonnie, let's go.
That's also Saturday. Well, it's just how many pieces in their horn section? Do you know?
I don't know offhand.
Oh, is it 3 pieces, 4
it's the
pieces?
most.
Quite a few.
Okay,
That's a lot.
so I got a big horn section.
I'm going to keep it ambiguous.
All right, that's very good.
Okay.
No, Kevin,
Now-
keep going. Keep asking the questions.
What else? That's what I do.
All
This is
right.
what I do. Do you have any questions, Bill?
No. I'm
you
enjoying the
no,
hell
no.
out of this.
So what else? What else is the thing that happens at the Oar all the time? I know that I have seen so many different, like you do throughout the year, and people just can go to your website, right? Throughout the year, you do all kinds of specials and stuff like that. All kinds of special.
We do daily events. In the summer, we do daily events, and then
Daily events.
Daily events.
Daily events throughout the summer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every day you have an event.
Not music. Not all music related. Mondays, dine
Yeah,
with
not
us.
everything's about you,
Yeah.
Kevin.
I don't know about that.
That's true.
Okay.
Tuesdays we have a car
Remember
show.
your contract, pal.
Tuesdays we have a car show, and then on Wednesday we have an authentic Hawaiian luau. And then Thursdays are dollar draft night, so we get a lot of people just coming for the cheap beer. But we either have a DJ, or this next Thursday we have Boots in the Barn, we call it. So we have line dancing.
Oh, sure.
And then Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday is the music.
The music, right?
And let's not forget the bikers.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's the greatest thing about having a place right on the river. You get the bikers that come in there, but you also get the boaters that come in.
I
boaters.
think it's
and
the
boaters.
the best people watching around. We get little league teams, we get boaters, we get bikers. We have a huge golf population that comes through during the week and stuff. So it's a lot of fun. And when we hit our stride,
Talk about cross cultures.
yeah,
man.
yeah, it's fun.
It's a
though.
cross-mogination.
Yeah.
You know what? So this is interesting because we were just talking about this last night. The show that we did last night was a whole. This guy had 150 friends were probably there, and they were all kinds of different people. And when I was talking to the guy, we've noticed this before as a band. The best places are the place that have the best places to play are the places that have different crowds from everywhere. And a lot of times, especially up north on chain of lakes and stuff, it's people that come in boats. And whenever you have a place on the river, you got the people that come in boats, but you also have the people with the cars. You obviously have a car show, but people with cars, and then the riders.
bikers, right?
The riders love
Yeah.
to do their thing when it's a beautiful day. They just go
Yeah.
around, and whenever there's that mix of people, for some reason, it's always the best.
Yeah,
I don't know
fun.
why that is.
And everybody gets along. I mean, everybody's there. My favorite days, it's a lot of work, but my favorite days are those days like today. I just walk to the end of a pier, I turn around, and I look at everything that's going on. There's people just singing and dancing on the lawn, up, down, and all around. And it's pretty cool that there's that many people that are there and that get along, and they're just there
Yeah.
to have fun.
I've romanticized about owning a bar and doing what you do and just like throwing a party every day and being responsible for everybody's good time. And I'm sure there's shortcomings, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's shortcomings to doing this show too. But
Wow.
No,
Anyway,
not mentioning
but-
any names.
That was heavy. That was heavy.
but it's to like host a party day in and day out and week in and week out, that just I would love that. That would be so
it's
cool.
a lot. It
Yeah.
can be a lot sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying that if there's some reward there, that sometimes like when you get to the end of the
Yeah.
pier and you look back and just how many people you're bringing together and
Yeah.
improving their day, that's got to feel pretty good.
And supporting, I think we've got 130 staff right now, so
Yeah.
it's kind of nice to be able to employ that many people and take care of them.
And now with the Arctic Bar, you'll be able to keep them
Keep
going
it a
year
little
round.
bit more level.
Yeah. So when does your 2 month temporary thing end?
End?
Yeah, when's that
Well,
end?
so far it's 15 years. We'll see how long that 2 months lasts from here.
That is excellent. Now, do you have plans? What are there plans for the 40th year? This is amazing. 40 years and crazy.
It's crazy
Is there so
in
you're
this
probably
industry.
going to have all kinds of special things going on for the 40-year anniversary?
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of just celebrating the fact that it's our 40th year. And then as we get closer to October, right now we've been full steam just getting ready for what's ahead this summer. So I'll be putting something together.
This is interesting too, because now that there is going to be the Arctic Bar, the busyness that you have like during the summer is now it's going to just be year round.
It will be busy.
Because there's never going to be a slowdown.
No breaks.
It'll be a different kind of busy. I mean, we won't have the lawn and the 2 remote bars and things like that. It'll still be busy. It'll just be a different kind of busy. It won't be the free-for-all, the summer free-for-all.
Right,
which we
okay,
call
okay.
it actually organized chaos. We had organized chaos there today.
Sure, OC.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
OC. Unless you spell chaos with a K, then it's okay.
Fragilistic.
So wait a minute. So what did you say something about the lawn? What's the lawn?
Well, we call it the lawn. The
beach.
The outside section, our patio, and we don't have grass there. We have gravel, but we call it the lawn.
Oh,
So
okay.
just
You mean
the
gray lawn?
The outdoor.
You mean the part out there going down
Outside.
towards the river?
Yeah.
That's called the lawn.
The part outside of the barn, the lounge, and the
I see.
outside bar.
I see.
That
So-
cannot be heated.
You could call it the grassy knoll.
We could.
Instead of lawn,
the gravelly knoll.
It's
The
the
gravelly
gravelly knoll. There
It's
you
much
go.
easier to just say lawn.
that is fantastic. Well,
we can complicate that for you, Bonnie. It's real easy.
Clearly.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's what we do. That is what we do. That is fantastic. Well, every time we play, the Oar, we always have a great time. I mean, what are some of the other So we're gonna play some music from your good friend Anthony Gomes as well, coming up in a little bit later in the hour. And he is he does not live in town anymore, right?
No, I believe he's St. Louis, if I remember correctly. And he was playing with, I think, one of my old managers, Tom Check, had introduced me to him, and he had heard him play somewhere locally. So Anthony came and played for us, and just one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Extremely humble, and it's just been a thrill to see his success over the years, and the fact that he still calls us family and comes and plays for us every year is just blows my mind. So he's a great friend of the Oar, and we love having him. And he's coming, I think, August 30th. He'll be joining us this year.
Nice.
But just a great guy and so extremely talented. He's really been so successful, so it's nice to see that happen.
Yeah, the song we picked with him, boy, he got a voice.
Yeah.
It's like Joe Cocker on steroids. Who else? Like as far as like the touring bands, there's Pat Travers, there's Anthony Gomes. Is there a few other touring bands that come into town that call the Oar home when they're here?
We have like a couple like a local touring band, Sneezy's coming through. We've had some ones that probably aren't the larger names because we're no cover entertainment. So, for me, I've never liked paying cover charges when I went to clubs and stuff. So it's been my goal all the time. Plus, we're on 7 acres. It's a little hard to define that. So we don't charge a cover charge. So with that being said, we've got to limit the bands that play with us and what we can actually do financially and still have it make sense for us.
Yeah. And do you have, clearly you have a good relationship with, what is it called? Port Barrington there now?
Yep, Port Barrington.
And it was something else before though, right?
Used to be Fox River Valley Gardens.
Yeah.
And then they changed the name.
I only know that because I live walking distance from the Oar, so I know.
Where did you live?
I live.
Was
in
it Port Barrington?
It's Port Barrington, but it used to be called Fox River Valley Gardens because they decided. I'm assuming somebody goes, this doesn't sound nearly as cool, and so what could?
Are you sure that the Port Barrington Mafia didn't just buy it? With a little strong arm, like a deal that they couldn't refuse.
You're asking the wrong person.
You should know
that
the
last 40 years.
Didn't you go to the town meetings?
No, I avoid those like the plague.
So it's now called Port Barrington there.
Yep.
And so you have a good relationship with Port Barrington.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Is there any other? There's really no other bars like that in the area?
No, I mean we have people that come to the Oar and say that there's nothing like they travel across the country and can't find anything that's very comparable. So I think we're pretty extraordinary just in and of the fact that, it was an old, fishing area, and, the homes were built around it. So now we're kind of nestled in the middle of suburbia.
It's a neighborhood bar.
Yeah.
Like almost.
Yeah, on
right.
steroids.
Right,
Yeah.
right. There you go.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's pretty wild.
Yeah. Well, and now, of course, you just put in a brand new stage. I mean, you built a whole new pole barn, put in a brand new stage, whole new sound system, too? Or was it you just used
they revamped it.
So
yeah.
it was the old sound system, but you just added more stuff and made
Yeah,
it.
and the barn was the last of my 15-year vision to maximize our potential there without growing too big that we couldn't. We're on 7 acres, and we fill up every single parking spot. We almost filled them all up again today. So, we can't get too big that we can't accommodate the people that want to be there, and sometimes that does happen. But the pole barn that we put in a year ago in March is an insulated pole barn, but that was the last of the vision to really maximize the potential. And
I need to buy the houses across the street.
we do own those.
Oh, nice.
We rent those.
Boom!
Okay.
Just so we
Business
can,
Bonnie, just put you right.
She's a step ahead.
just so it's in the lease that they don't have a problem with sound and things like that. So
Wow, that was a good idea. Buy the houses, just buy the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So
it's the Broken Oar mob, really, not the
I
Port
do.
Barrington mob.
Well, I know that when I'm at my house out on the back patio, we enjoy the music.
Yeah,
it's really great.
Well, it's funny because we live on a lake. It's the things. I'm glad that you guys are doing so good over there. We've had some weird things that have happened with the live music in Wakanda. I mean, you realize every year. I found this out a bunch of years ago in Wakanda. It's a lake town. People want to have fun. It's on the lake. There have been complaints, and Lindy's, or some of the other places have music on the lake. These people complain. But I found out that every year for Wakanda Fest, the people of some people in Wakanda call the cops and say it's too loud. Every year.
I would imagine it's a lot louder than the music coming from Lindy's, so I could see that.
Yeah, and what are you going to do? You take the phone call, you're at the cops station. Say, oh, okay, we'll just cancel Wakanda Fest for you I guess, because if it's too loud, there's going to be no festivals anymore in Wakanda ever again because
and there's probably nowhere, because it's a lake versus like a river, there's probably nowhere for the sound to travel, and it may be a little bit different situation, so.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, Bonnie, but you can't cancel Wakanda Fest because a couple of people complain.
No, well, you're correct, and she is also correct. Two things can be correct at the same time. That lake,
in my world.
That lake just allows the sound to just travel and go out and out and out, and there's nothing to bounce it off of, so it grows exponentially. So
I know the sound does travel across the lake, but it's just funny. Wakanda Fest is one weekend.
No,
it
probably breaks down.
People.
There's probably only like 3 people that are the
same
heels.
ones.
The ones that call every time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
Same ones that call. So have you had problems like that over at the Broken Oar? It seems like I've heard about sometimes the neighbors.
We had some years back, but that was all resolved. And, our sound engineers are fantastic. So, they're monitoring decibel levels all the time. And so we, and honestly, the byproduct of all that has been a greater customer retention. If it's too loud, then people can't talk or communicate to each other and enjoy the music as much if it gets too loud. So, we monitor it with every single performance to make sure that it's we're keeping
within
it real.
specification.
Yeah, and not, yeah.
Right.
I mean, if my staff has to be yelling at each other and customers can't communicate with each other, there's a fine line between too loud, not loud enough.
That is crazy. Like you have to watch and just be monitoring so many things constantly. It's just like it's crazy. From day to day with so let's talk about so the Tuesday car show, I imagine, is pretty popular.
Yeah, we get a good turnout.
So how many cars would you say?
It depends on the weather
of
and
course
the time
if it's
of year,
raining,
but
forget it.
I mean, we'll get anywhere between usually like 60 to 100 cars every week, and we give trophies out every week, and then we do one grand finale the first weekend in October. So it's got a huge following. So
That's
we get a lot of people
fantastic.
for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, car shows are big.
It's fun.
If you ever need live music for the car show, just talk to me. We'll take care of you.
So Anthony,
Duly noted.
Do you do live music for the car shows?
No.
Yeah,
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah, it wouldn't make
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they are. I've been to car shows where there wasn't. Matter of fact,
Thanks,
we have
Dean.
played a couple of live.
We do it
there's
for
some
the
huge
grand
ones.
finale in October. I think October 4th is our grand finale car show this year, and we have, I think, Rick Lindy, which is kind of a rockabilly,
Right,
which goes
right.
well with it. Yeah.
Yes, car show.
Yeah.
Excellent. And what was the next question I was gonna ask? I've got more questions for you, but should we play some music?
Yeah, you talked about that Anthony Gomes, and I've been dying to hear that.
Is
yeah.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Anthony Gomes, who will be playing this year at the Broken Oar, and then we're also going to play some more Pat Travers, aren't we?
Yeah, two of the legends.
And
Yep.
what is the name of the tune?
So we're gonna do "Praise the Loud."
Praise the Loud.
By
That
Anthony Gomes.
that was his last tour or something, right? Or was it the last album? His last
I
album was
think
called
so.
Praise the Loud.
I think so. And then we're gonna do "Snorting Whiskey." by
Snorting
Pat-
Oh, yeah.
Whiskey
You
from
gotta,
Pat
you
Travers.
gotta play that.
Yeah, excellent. All right, let's do it.
All right, hold on. Let's go. Friggin' Pat Travers.
Nice, man. That guy. Wow. Well, and he's still going. Bonnie,
Yeah.
we were just talking about it at the break. Bonnie's like, he's still touring. I mean, I don't think he does, massive tours like he used to, but he's still, he's still playing all over the place. And you know what? So I'm going to come and see him. I missed him the last couple of years, but I'm going to come see him this year.
He's amazing. It's a fun show to watch.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some community calendar.
Do your
How about-
community calendar,
Yeah.
my son.
So coming up on this show next week, we've got Axel Ellis from X and the Hatchetmen. That's going to be involve a little bit of our Saturday night because we're going to go see them play down in the city in the Ukrainian village.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
it's going
right.
to be a lot of fun. And then June 8th, we've got Chris Duarte will be in studio. That is post his show on the 7th over at Displains Theater. Please go to their website to buy tickets.
We
if
did
you don't
explain all
mind.
that. Yes,
But
Chris Duarte,
repeating
he's the
is
best.
what it's all about on the
No,
radio.
you got to. These
gotta
people
just
don't
keep
listen.
hitting them.
They
They
don't
don't.
listen.
Nobody
You gotta
listens.
tell you.
Nobody listens when I talk. I tell you.
I said-
June 15th, Stevie Craig,
Stevie
guitar
Craig.
virtuoso.
Yeah, he's
will be on the
amazing.
show.
He plays with a lot of different bands. One I know of that he played with last night.
Yeah, they're okay.
All right.
They're okay.
All right. That's enough of that.
Isn't it though?
Yes.
June 22nd will be a chapter in the history of the blues again. We'll be revisiting that.
Oh.
And then June 29th, Kevin. What happens June 29th? Because I've got something in my notes that disturbs me. It says here we'll have Mitch the Lip with guest host Bill Sausage Fingers LeClaire.
Well, that is true because yours truly has been asked to be a special guest at the Sunday Blues Jam at Mad Cats.
Well, let's just shut this whole thing
At
down.
Mad
Let's
Cats?
do that.
I told you we could do a
Yeah.
live. We
Yeah.
could do a live. Why not try it? No, let's not.
Let's not do
That's
that.
crazy.
That's too risky. Too risky. So we've
It's
got
just nice to be loved. All right?
exactly.
So, go on with
So
your
let's
bad
do some
self.
local band stuff. Since we happen to have Bonnie from the Broken Oar here,
Yes.
we're going to be starting there tomorrow with Tennessee Whiskey and Whiskey Devils. Will be over at your place.
Is that correct?
Yes, we have the Chris Stapleton Band. Tennessee Whiskey is a
Tennessee
big draw,
Whiskey,
so it'll be
yeah.
a fun day at the Oar.
Chris Stapleton and me don't get along, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's always something.
Maybe he's the one that needs therapy. Yeah.
No, totally. And that's why. That guy, I
100%.
tell you. On the 30th, Jimmy Nick will be over at the Wine Exchange in St. Charles.
The wine exchange.
Yeah.
Sounds
Over at,
fancy.
it's schmancy. Over at RJ's on the lake in Lindenhurst, you can go see Delta Rising on Friday as well. And then, Bonnie, you said something about the next date here coming up on the Friday at your place?
Yep, May 30th, we have Rich Wrath Project 313, so it's REO Speedwagon Band coming down from Wisconsin. They're fantastic, and they will be with Band on the Run, so we've got a McCartney band there as well on Friday
Nice.
the 30th.
Before we move on, I have a question about that. Do you know why they call it the Rich Wrath Project instead of like is? I mean, I love that because they're celebrating Rich Wrath.
Right.
He's just an amazing guitar player, and I believe they booted him. But is there a reason why they're not just calling it some kind of REO Speedwagon thing, or are they just because they want to celebrate
Because
Gary
REO
Rich Wrath?
Speedwagon was mean to you.
They were. That's why I'm
Right.
asking.
Right.
I want to see
Right.
where we're going with this. All right, that's cool. The Rich Wrath. I could look it up, but that is interesting. The Rich Wrath Project instead of like an REO Speedwagon sort of
Well, you
tribute
still
thing.
have to have a name.
You have to have a name. That's a requirement.
Well,
You don't want to just be called the REO Speedway in tribute.
well,
It's
no,
kind
but
of
they always
boring.
they always call it. They call themselves like the REO Speed,
Bumps.
Speed Bump. That's a great tribute band.
Friday, May
REO
30th,
Speed Bump.
the Funk Out will be playing at Teddy's in Highwood, and if you care to see old Road Bill, I will be doing sound for that band out there
Whoa.
on Friday, May 30th. So make your plans that way. I am the most intriguing thing that'll be happening that
Well,
night.
that is. I mean, it's all about you a lot.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
All right.
Saturday, May 30th. Rewind, repeat. Saturday, May 31st. Brass from the Past will be over at the Broken Oar.
Wow.
As well as Hairbangers Ball will also be there that same day, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Day and night.
And following that up on Sunday, June 1st, Libido Funk Circus. Now, there's a band name. Will
Yeah.
also be at the Broken Oar.
They've been around. They've been riding this oar train with us for at
The
least
oar
15.
train.
The oar train.
I love that.
The crazy oar train for 15 years. So it's always a lot of fun when Libido Funk comes to the oar. So
Yeah, and they do a bunch of like disco and stuff, right?
no, they have a separate disco circus, but yeah, they have a lot of fun music.
Funk.
Party
They do
dance
a lot of
music.
funk stuff. All right. Yeah, that's cool. All right, well, there you go. That's the community calendar, which, interestingly enough, there was a lot of, not because we have you as a guest. It had nothing to do with that all these bands are playing at the Broken Oar.
Weird. What a coincidence.
Well, I'll tell you, our community calendar is littered with the Oar bands because it's the most consistent play. Every weekend, that's where everything's happening.
Well, and
it's a fact.
and again, I'm sure that you probably know this, but everybody wants to play the Broken Oar. Everybody loves it.
That's amazing.
And we'll talk about that. We had my friend Harry Mura, who was an amazing guitar player that toured with James Cotton, the harmonica player from Muddy Waters, toured the world. This guy was playing, especially when blues was big with, because, remember we were talking about all the songs, and you and I grew up in the same era.
Yep.
But when Stevie Ray Vaughan made blues a big thing, Harry was playing in front of, just like Pat Travers.
Yeah.
There are videos of Harry on YouTube playing to 20, 30, 40,000 people.
Super
when they
cool.
would get Jimmy Vaughn up there and all this stuff, and James Cotton's playing harp and Harry. But so we had Harry as a guest star last summer. He came up and he played with us, and he was just blown away by the place, and now he wants to play there too. We'll talk about that later, see maybe about doing some kind of Harry, because he loves playing with a harmonica player because he toured with James Cotton for so
Yeah.
long. But
That'd be cool.
he's an amazing player, and so we're trying to put some little Harry Mura, Kevin Purcell things together too. Because
Another band name for you.
Yeah, we need another one. I like REO Speed Bumps though.
How about the lumps on a log?
REO Speed Bumps, that's fantastic. Again, Kevin Cronin's new band, REO Speed Bumps, because that's what he was, But anyway, So what was I saying? Everybody loves to.
Nobody knows.
Everybody loves to play at the Broken Oar. And it had something to do with that. No, Laura, I lost my train
That's
of
super cool, though. I mean, you go through your day-to-day grind, and, to hear something like that is just absolutely amazing to me. So we love our music community, the local community, and the ones that come through nationally. So it's just super cool to hear that the hard work, because we want it to be fun for our customers, our staff, too, and the bands that play there. So it's nice that people want to play there.
Well, and you really can't, I mean, obviously, we've played a ton of places, and even the Night Burners, we've been playing around. We have our favorite places that we like to play. The Broken Oar is definitely one of them, and I know why people want to play there, because the vibe there is just, it's right there by the river. When you get a beautiful day, all your people come out. It's just it's an amazing
Well,
it's
and
an
I've said
amazing
this to you
feel.
before, like some of the best Night Burners shows as a whole, and I've been to quite a few of them over the last 20 years, have happened at the Broken Oar.
Nice.
It just, the energy just so
It's
happens.
the
I mean,
vibe.
and
Yeah,
you
it's the
remember,
vibe.
I'm not even joking, last year when I told you this was the greatest I've ever heard this band play. Like, it's
Nice.
it just happens there. So
What was I? Was it because I was Well, I was really on.
I
was on
you
fire.
were- I don't
think
I
you
was
were
really
there.
on
You were
fire
off
that night.
stage
Yeah,
at
you
that
were there. Yeah, you bastard. All right, that's it. All right, that's it for your contract.
I joke. You know you're great. You don't need me to tell you.
Well, because the stage, even the old stage was great. It's a little smaller than the stage you got now, but it was still,
a little shorter too.
little shorter.
A little shorter.
You know what? Sometimes, how did you come up with that idea then to make the stage like 6 feet tall instead of?
Because we put a stage on top of the stage, and I didn't remove the old one, so just made it that tall.
Nice.
Is that right?
There was no calculations in it whatsoever, but we added the stage to envelop the old stage, and the legs could only go so short, so that's where we ended up,
That's
and it
wild.
worked out just fine.
Nice.
No,
Perfect.
it is
Yeah.
fine. Although the only problem is now I can't jump off into the
You could,
into
but
the
we'd
audience.
have to-
yeah,
Yeah,
you'd have
well,
to have
that'd be the last time you jump.
You better have a gurney right there.
And the byproduct of that is I don't have to yank people off of tables. It's stand up on the tables to see the band, because now they can see them without having to stand on
So
tables.
quit encouraging
Oh.
people to do that, Kevin, is what she's
Yeah.
trying to tell you
I
left-handed.
don't know if last time we were there, your people did have to get me off the table.
Well,
I was
the
just
bands
trying to
can go
have a
on
good time.
You guys can go on the tables. It's the,
No, I was
customers
in the
can,
audience. Who was it who was playing? Who did we go to see?
I don't remember, but
We-
it
we
sounds
saw- we-
right.
Security.
There was
security.
the security guys go, come on, get down. I'm like, no, I swear, I'm in
Don't
one
you-
of
don't
I'm
you
in one of
know
the
who I
bands.
am?
Yeah, I know
Don't you
Bonnie.
know
No,
who
I
I
know
am?
her. I know the owner.
I am
all right,
Kevin
all right.
Purcell.
All right, get down, pal. All right, get the straight jacket over there. Will you? Bring it on over. I gotta say that what's fun about this. If I'm correct, we've had a bunch of musicians on the show, and they tell all their friends and everybody listens to the show. But so far, the top show is club owners.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
So-
That's true.
So I mean, I think I don't know what that says, but I think it says
Says
that
they know a
people-
lot of people.
Well, it says they know a lot of people, but also the other people we had on here were from the MSO in Wakanda. You know of it.
I know of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so another place where the vibe is just
Yeah.
incredible, and so people love it, and I think it has
Yep.
a lot to do with
Yep.
that too. People just love, and also for people to get to hear, like Broken Oar can be for bands and probably even for people sometimes like, who owns this place? Nobody knows, but now they know, and they get to hear you be the sweet self that I mean, but just
yeah,
wait now.
that's a
Hold on.
first.
She already
Hold on a
agreed to
second.
be
That's-
on. This is the wrong time to start buttering
this
her
is
up.
this is Buzz Bonnie.
Yeah.
Wait, when business Bonnie shows up, look out.
Yeah.
It could get
Get in line.
it could get ugly. But no, I think that a lot of people. It's great for these people to hear your take on what you're doing over there and everything that's going on, because it is that's great that you called it a vision. I love that. It's the final vision. Well, it never ends. It's not
Well,
gonna.
we're hoping it comes.
Not till they put
it
dirt
slows-
on you.
Yeah, we're hoping it slows down a little bit. I mean, the first year I jumped in, we could only afford to paint the walls and change some bar stools out. So it's been an evolution over the years. But everybody that comes always is surprised to see what we did that year.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to have something new.
I was blown away when I somebody called me and said, "Hey, I just went by the Broken Oar and they're like building a whole new
Oh,
thing
yeah.
over there."
You
was
and I
like,
went
then
over
we
there.
went over there
Yeah.
while it was in construction.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
were like,
We had
"Wow,
a
this is
lot
going
of
to be
people
awesome."
driving by, like, what the?
What's
yeah,
going
yeah,
on? That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, no, we're thrilled.
I think we only got time for like one more little story here, but I thought it
Yeah,
was
we're
very.
coming to the
I
end. It
thought
happens.
isn't it something? It goes
I
so
know.
fast. Seems like we've only been talking 20 minutes. But I think it's fantastic because everybody. I was literally just talking about this last night. The way I got a call from a guy. We were talking business and stuff. I was business Kevin instead of Buzz Kev, Buzzkill Kev.
Tell me about it.
We were talking about how things got really for the music industry in general, for bands, for festivals, for everything. COVID really messed stuff up. You guys it was pretty harrowing to be a club owner. I mean, look at how many went out of business.
I never canceled a band. We had every performance throughout COVID. We never skipped a beat.
No kidding.
Well, we were shut down from March 17th to May 29th. So when we opened back up, it was the peak of our season. But we never canceled a band.
Even between, you're saying you got shut down from March to May, but then you had to cancel
we
the bands.
started our season a little later because they didn't reopen us till May 29th. But
Wow.
we just spread things out. That's how we got the trailer park bar. I just got another location so we could spread people out more so they were comfortable when they were there. And it was, I said it was like It's a Wonderful Life because, we were trying to hang in there and people were just coming out of the woodworks to come support us. And, when we did open back up, there was a line of people throughout the parking lot waiting to get in because we were staggering entry to make sure everybody was comfortable being there.
Wow.
And, that's when you realize just how
loyal
wonderful
your
our
fans are.
community
Yeah.
is, and the music community and the customers. Everybody was coming to just support us, and so we were able to support our staff that didn't have other sources of income. We got through it to the other side, and then people were taking really good care of them, and and we became stronger. We are stronger and bigger and better than we were pre-pandemic.
Right,
so sometimes
right.
everything works out the way it's supposed to, I guess.
That's
great.
That is amazing, and It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a wonderful life.
Yeah, I can't. You know what? I feel like I was included in that story.
Absolutely.
And I would have been what's his face? Who was in It's a Wonderful Life? What was the actor?
Yeah.
You can't just I think you can just.
Don't you know me? Mary, don't you know me?
Don't you know who I am?
Don't you know who I am?
Hey, look, Kev, we're getting to the end of yet another show.
Yeah,
And,
thank you so much,
this-
Bonnie, for coming out and
My
telling us all
pleasure.
about the Broken Oar. That was fun.
Thank you, guys.
I can't believe how short this. I swear to God,
Yeah.
is it really been?
I was just
feel
getting
like
started.
I feel like we hit a speed bump.
Anyway, like I was saying, we did want to take a little bit of a second because we only got a couple minutes left. But I did want to make a point to say something about Memorial Day because we got that coming up this whole weekend, and everybody gets a day off of work and everybody does parties at the Oar and stuff like that. But I think we also need to collectively always, and you hear this a lot, but you need to remember that Memorial Day is a little bit of a somber thing, and we need to. I'll make sure we've taken some time. I talked to somebody last night that was like, hey, I'm a veteran, and Veterans Day is for veterans, and people always thank me for my service and blah, 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 blah. But Memorial Day is about to just taking and understanding the people that made the ultimate sacrifice. And
Yeah.
so I think as a show, we should at least say those words and make sure that we've covered that base.
Absolutely. Happy Memorial Day to everybody out there, and a big salute to anybody who's service been service to the country, who's been in the military.
And the ones that didn't make it. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, done and done.
Yes.
Got a minute 30. What do you got left in you?
Yeah, that's a great question. Give me something, Bonnie. Give me something.
Go. Give me 45 seconds to figure it out.
Play a song or something.
Well, we don't have enough time.
You know what? This is actually what I wanted to say. I forgot about this because we had been talking about let's let a little trip down memory lane here. So Bonnie and I, we went. Yeah. Well, nothing. I'm not gonna say anything too. But we spent a lot of time partying, big time in Mount Prospect. All those years, back in the what years
back
were?
In the days.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
know.
back in the day. Let's
81,
not talk about the years. And where did
I was 10.
Where did we go to high school? Shut up with you when I do. Where did we go to high school?
Prospect.
Yeah.
Prospect High School.
Yeah.
Go Knights.
Right. And you remember what happened with me and Tommy and Jim Brady and some of the guys when I drove through the back gate? Do you remember that
that
story?
was a tale from the road.
Oh yeah, it's another tale from the road.
We got in a lot of trouble, but it was so funny. I drove through that. We were trying to leave for lunch, and I drove through the back gate.
20 seconds.
Because
That's understandable.
Yeah, no, and then, but thankfully, I stayed out of trouble because when we went to the last court date, the principal didn't show up. There you go.
Ba-dum-bum.
Thank you, Bonnie,
it's been
so
a
much.
pleasure
Yeah.
knowing you
Been a
all
pleasure.
these years.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
Thank you guys for
thank you.
having me.
All right, we'll see
Too
you
much
at the
fun.
Aura not too long, about
I'll
a month
be there
or so.
every day that ends
Yes.
in Y.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Point 3 FM LP, Round Lake Beach, Illinois.
The Bus Stop Blues with Kevin Purcell and Road Bill was recorded in studio at 98.3 The Life FM in Round Lake Beach, Illinois. Produced by Road Bill and provided in part by both Kevin Purcell and Road Bill. If you would like information on sponsoring this show, please contact us at thebusstopblues@gmail.com. And thanks again for listening.